argument. Like, I'm not giving much back.
Lately, it's getting in my head so much. Like everything I see, I first assume it's not real anymore because it's like I just can't.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if she
found the culprit. Fucking. This is not in the doc, but. Oh well, I don't really care if you know that I listen to Pegasus, because it's. To be honest, there's a lot of his takes I disagree with, but at the same time. Well. Well. This one. I disagree with some of his takes, and some of his takes I agree with. Let's just leave those bad boys muted. Anyway, what I was saying is that I'm gonna wait and see if anybody comes in, but I doubt it, and nor do I blame them, because I have stupidly been sick. I get really easily sick to my stomach. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know. But it's just boring is why. But dumb time to do that though, cuz like literally okay, we're good. Literally one of the only things that like one of the things I started making content on, there's like a big boom happening of like content options, you could say. If you were a stupid person, you could say that. But so yeah, I was sick for that. I'm so sorry that I brigaded you with many sounds in the beginning. I don't know why that happened. Also, I don't know why it started playing Pegasus. But mostly he is really, I will say, regardless of the fact that I disagree with some of the things that he says, it's a little crazy. He goes a little too far in one direction for me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel obligated to, if once I start, like, or once I stop ingesting his content, I won't feel obligated, but I feel obligated right now to be subscribed just because I ingest his content. And he's really good about updates. So I try to keep in the loop as best I can with multiple sources. He is one of the sources I have. Anyway. I don't know what the fuck this means. I should just not look at it. That's probably the best option. They probably left after the fucking brigade of sound.
transformative. Then Ethan.
Bro, why?
Scratch my back, I scratch your back.
See, guys, I didn't even do that. I haven't even watched some of those videos. Or I think one of this one. The last one I didn't even watch. So I thought, this is it. But not the right point? It's fine. I don't think I'll be using that tonight anyway. I'm just fucking around for a little bit. If there's a sign of life, please let me know, cause. But again, I don't blame you. Okay, so should I move Shaun up here? Probably. We might need to get that out of the way, or should I save it? I'm not gonna have time to go through all of this, so should not save it. Should say it tonight for sure. Yeah, this is stupid. This isn't gonna help. I've noticed people do the waiting room thing, so should I start a waiting room thing? What should we do in the waiting room? Fuck off for like 15 to 30 minutes. I see people doing that for an hour, bro. People do that for a whole ass hour. Isn't that crazy? Let's just leave it like this, even though I'm not even covering this video today. Do you guys want to see me make a gummy burrito? I'll mute myself if I eat it because you don't want to hear that. And frankly, I don't want to hear it when I edit this video. That feels very intimate. People listen to other people eat, but at the same time, I get it. I just don't personally want to do it, if that makes sense. Man, I really am stalling. Here I am eating gummies and shit. Fucking having fun though, so it doesn't matter. For fuck. Fucking Fort Knox of gushers, dude. So this is a gummy burrito. What you do is you start with a fruit roll-up, right? Just a rainbow tropical fruit roll-up. And then I have a gummy gushers mini pouch variety pack. And I don't know what flavors are in here, but it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna put it on the end because there's always that end, especially with the cheap fruit roll-ups, that doesn't come up all the way. So I'm gonna put it on that end. Fucking lost some gushers, dude. Gonna put it down here on that end. Some people like play other people's videos and shit during their wait time. This seems more fun. Okay. So the gummies that came out in the, oh, guys. Bro. Okay. So the gummies that came out in this one were, in this order, were red, orange, green, pulled 2 oranges, but green, and blue, bro. Blue is the best flavor. Should I even put that in the burrito, or should I just eat that thing? We'll put it in the burrito in its place of honor. Okay. It's starting to fall apart, but thank goodness we have another rolling apparatus. Okay. Alright, high and tight, bro. As you can see, we are fully rolled. If you are coming in, this will be over so soon. I promise you. This is just filler. You know, like how Twitch streams have like the starter. Woo. Where they like play them like a PNG or a fucking cartoon clip of them reacting to some dumb shit or something. And I'm talking about multiple people do this, which I don't really care. I frankly don't have the equipment to do something like that. And possibly if I did, maybe I would. Okay, so what I've done here, so I'm not judging them is what I'm saying. I have no room to judge. I'm very poor. Okay. Even more poor than Denims, Frogan, and isn't that crazy than Frogan, and Kaceytron. So it's like, them ladies think they're in a rough spot, which they will be in a very rough spot, you know, with this lawsuit. I can't lie about that. But there are people that would be way worse off in their situation, and are worse off, even though they're in a horrible situation. I'm not one of those people, but I'm one of the other ones that would be horribly fucked if I were in their situation. So I understand it is probably very scary. As you can see, one of the pieces of this is a fruit by the foot that I've rolled around the fruit roll up, which is then it has gushers inside. So I've rolled the fruit by the foot around it. Little piece fell off. I'm gonna mute myself. Okay. That was good. It was a lot to chew. Is that the review you expected? It's good. It was a lot to chew. So, that's about it. Anyway, we've got 2 people. It's enough for me. Or, I don't even think, the thing is with concurrent, I don't even know if that's like, currently I have 2 viewers, or concurrently I've had 2 viewers watching me eat a fruit roll-up, and then one or both of them dipped. Frankly, I don't really care. Okay. Because I need to get into this shit before it's like the next fucking day. Which is 30 minutes from now for me? That's crazy. That's way too soon. Okay, so Shaun the Black. Let's just get into Shaun the Black, because it's a lot, but it's also like, it won't take very long to push through at all. There's so much trash over here now from all them goddamn gummies. From all them gummies. I'm gonna try to start cursing less, just because, like, I put on my videos that it's not for kids, but you don't know what kids are clicking on nowadays, or, like, when they have parental controls and when they don't, so. Yeah. Anyway. Gosh dang. Maybe that's not even that good, but. So, if you. Okay. Let me get you a little up to speed just in general. So essentially right now, Ethan Klein of H3 is suing multiple creators from Twitch, multiple Twitch streamers from Twitch for copyright infringement. Essentially, he's saying that they, which, you know, there is proof for, in my opinion, but he's saying that they reacted to his content maliciously, fully, with the intent of pulling views from his content to theirs. So, those 3 creators that were first named in the lawsuit happened to be women: Denims, Kaceytron, and Frogan. But multiple people, including Taylor Lorenz and let's see, their name is in this actually. Cat Tenbarge, who I have heard of, but very few times. Excuse me. Very few times. I know she is loosely associated with these people, like they're friends, question mark. So, but she's a journalist. She claims that she never directly called Ethan a misogynist. If you read the article, it's at least heavily implied that he is doing misogyny himself, or he is perpetuating misogyny throughout his community, which, speaking as a member of Ethan's community, I don't identify with that. I mean, and even if someone was a misogynist, they probably wouldn't, right? Personally, but I don't, although it might exist, I don't think that it is the norm. I don't think that if you graded it. Anyway. Also, I don't think that the fact that Ethan sued 3 female creators makes him a misogynist. I'm sorry, I just don't. They just happen to commit copyright infringement. I don't think that has anything to do with their gender. So, okay, we're good. I've done that too many times to myself. I was like, the gummy is gonna fuck me over, dude. It's gonna make me mute myself for, like, the rest of the stream. Anyway. Was the gummy segment really worth it? That's what I'm gonna ask myself after I realize half of the shit's muted. Okay. So essentially, Taylor Lorenz and a couple other people, Denims, I would like all of the female creators involved, I think, hopped on this bandwagon of saying Ethan was a misogynist. In my opinion, they did that. But Ethan is currently on vacation with his wife, and he posted this. This is an Instagram post that I pulled from H3 Productions, which is the subreddit. So, um, he says, I understand my announcement that I'm going to sue Shaun the Black was upsetting to some. Okay, so Ethan said that he was going to. Sorry, there's a little context missing here. Ethan said that he was going to sue Shaun the Black because he also committed copyright infringement to a certain degree and Ethan was tired of being called a misogynist, so he put a man on the lawsuit, is what he's saying, is what he said. He says, so I understand my announcement that I'm going to sue Shaun the Black was upsetting to some. Therefore, in an act of superhuman grace, I will make this offer. Also, that's clearly a joke, but depending on who you are, could be in poor taste. I think it's funny. That's just me, though. If the Snark subreddit, Taylor Lorenz, and Cat Tenbarge all apologize for calling me a misogynist, I will consider dropping the lawsuit against Shaun. This offer expires Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So, um, yeah. I'll respond to it when we get. So, okay, here's Shaun's response. Shaun, when hearing the news. Okay, so here's the original tweet. Good evening. I've been thinking deeply about everything going on, specifically about the accusation that I'm a misogynist suing 3 women. You are all correct. This has not been fair. That's why I've decided to add Shaun the Black to the lawsuit for gender equality. Shaun, be sure to thank all of your snarker friends for their constructive advice. Okay. And Shaun said, the fuck. Which, like, as an objective person that likes funny things, I have to say that's pretty funny. Just in general, whether it's funny that Shaun said that or whether it's just funny. It's just funny. Okay. I know I cursed, but I was quoting something. So I still shouldn't do it though. Okay. Shaun the Black responds to Ethan's retraction request. So this is oh shit. Sorry. So this is for me where it gets a little like reaching, in my opinion. I don't. Okay, I'll respond to it after I read it. This is the last thing I'll say about this, but Ethan Klein using me to force accomplished women journalists who grovel to him is ironically exactly the misogyny he claims is inaccurate in this very post. And then that's what I read earlier. I understand my announcement. Suing Shaun the Black was upsetting to some, so he's saying Taylor Lorenz and Cat Tenbarge and Snark subreddit is also in there. Apologize. So I don't think that asking for an apology is him trying to manipulate or impose force on these women. I think that he was just trying to prove a point, and that he is not a misogynist, and um, I don't know. I don't. I think that Ethan's just petty. I don't think that has anything to do with them being women. I really don't. And that goes with Taylor Lorenz, Cat. That goes with Frogan, Denims. You know what I'm saying? I really just think that he's being petty, regardless of gender. But he's being petty. I don't even think that's a bad thing necessarily. Like, I understand why he's being petty. Um, Although he is petty. He is a petty bitch. So this should be ahead of this. So Shaun, let's just Oop. We'll start it over.
Why y'all dragging me into this? People be like, oh, why is he only suing women? Which I'm like, okay, fair. He's like, yeah. I was like, why y'all dragging me into this? People be like, oh, why is he only suing women? Which I'm like, okay, fair. He's like, yeah. Shaun the Black reacted to it. He didn't sue him either. Why we dry snitching? It's like playing hide and seek, right? And your boy gets found, and all right, come out, bro. They found us.
In my opinion, it's like, why are you saying they're snitching if you didn't do anything wrong? Like, if you don't think that you infringed on the content and your reaction, why are you being like, why'd you snitch? Just again, that's just my opinion. He could mean something else entirely. He could mean, let's try to give him the benefit of the doubt and try to figure out like a different way to look at this. He could mean, fuck. That let's back it up a little.
Found us. Fuck you mean they found us? We? You speaking in French? Found us. It was like playing hide and seek, right? He didn't sue him either. Why?
Maybe he's trying to say that they all reacted. Probably this is it, right? That they, but at the same time, this is silly. That they all reacted to it, right? So it's all the same. So none of them infringed in Shaun the Black's eyes, even though they definitely did. So I would assume that's what he means. But in my eyes, this is like could be considered admitting fault.
Him either. Why?
Oh, son of a gun. See, I'm trying. I'm doing better.
Why snitching? It was like playing hide and seek, right? And your boy gets found, and all right, come out, bro. They found us. Fuck you mean they found us? We? You speaking in French? You speaking in French? Leave me out of this. Leave me out of this. Teacher, he cheated too. You gotta laugh at these people. They want to be taken seriously. What I call you and not when XC and Asma reacted. To be fair, they probably didn't think this through, right? They probably didn't think that far ahead. They were trying to call it Ethan.
Here's the thing: is that like in the beginning of this, it could be considered that he's joking. He's like, "Bro, why'd you snitch on me, bro? That's not cool." And now he's like, the thing is, it could have been an accident. Like, you don't appreciate it. It's like, okay. So you're seriously upset that they like ratted you out, but it's like, how could they rat you out for something that when you didn't do anything wrong? You know what I mean?
The misogyny, which is a good thing. Right? Which is a good thing. But like they I caught a stray. And that's just how it be sometimes. And she's actually only added 10 minutes and he put the whole thing on YouTube. it doesn't matter, you know. About Gotchi and Ethan.
Okay, so why did you read that comment then? He said, if you didn't catch it, he said XQC, this was a comment, he was reading a comment. XQC reacted to it in full, added about 10 minutes, and he did not sue. So Ethan has already gone over why he hasn't sued people like XQC and Asmongold, and no, it doesn't have to do with social standing or whether or not they agree with him. Really, it doesn't. It's because legally, really, I don't think that he could. Maybe there could be an argument with XQC, possibly. I haven't watched the reaction. I just don't think that there's a possible way to say it wasn't commentary. And I could be biased because I feel like I try to give an amount of commentary, and you know, and that could be biased toward in my own view, right? So like if I feel like I give a certain amount of commentary and then I see other people and I'm like, whether I agree with them or not, they're giving the same amount or what I consider to be. Again, they could be giving more than me. So I just don't know. It's a biased perspective. That's kind of why, which I think Ethan requested for it to be a jury trial, but I hope it is. I think that it could be a good thing that this goes to court. Like, it could be a good thing for copyright, for slop tube reactions, you could say. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that reactions have to go away entirely, but it could make it easier for the people that actually try and put the effort in and give their own opinions and try to make transformative content, regardless of it being React content. It makes it easier for those people to succeed. My opinion, if you're worried, there's a reason you're worried. So
Being normal and having lives. That's true. Right, which is why I told y'all to be normal. I told y'all to be normal.
also, if you want to play a drinking game on how many times I say my opinion or the accusation is, then you'll probably get very crunk.
Right? Y'all so worried about like, oh, this is how I'm gonna call it Ethan for his misogyny. Y'all drug me into this shit. I think, you know, Ethan was gonna do it regardless. When it was gonna fall off anyway. I think this was in his back pocket. But like, y'all need to bring me into this. Right? I should only be mentioned in the most handsome streamer conversation. That's it. Other than that, you know.
Listen, I appreciate the silly little goofs and gaffs that Shaun the Black has tried to provide and that Kaceytron has tried to provide. I really do. At the same time, I think like has gone back and forth. I think hers genuinely might be her like going through denial and like grief and stuff. Like I laugh, but only because I do that when I'm talking about serious topics. Sometimes it's unfortunate, but I really do think that that might be the case, and I'm not qualified to say such, so don't listen to me. But the behavior she's exhibited has been very much so that she is not having a good. She's going through some stuff. I don't know. I appreciate that they try to add levity, or at least they have in the beginning, but it's like I don't know. It's not going to continue. I would say I hope it can continue throughout this whole process, but it's not going to. Because if and when these people get in trouble, it's going to be a dark reality that they have to face. It's not going to be, we do a little trolling anymore. It's going to be like, man, maybe they could go full troll direction and be like, we troll to survive around here. That's the only way we can live, is to troll. And then eventually it becomes unironic and you become Trisha Paytas. And so, you know what I mean?
Or Rising Star, which you should still vote me for, by the way. Voting hasn't opened yet, but soon. soon. Considering how much E hates black people, I'm surprised.
So I think this is an edited clip, so I would like to credit the person that posted it, even though I don't know. So this person, they posted it. There we go.
He knows your name. He knows my name, so he can hate black people.
Let's see what they added. Let's see what they added. Okay, so they added short clip. I think is important that Shaun has leftovers open snark. Calls this, but I couldn't help but notice the reason.
Considering how much E hates black people, I'm surprised he knows your name. He knows my name, so he can hate black people.
Snark brain is why you're getting sued. Okay. So, how long was that minute, or how long was that video? Fucking 3 minutes. I talk too much. Okay. Because Snark and the two disgraced journalists are unwilling to swallow their pride. So people tried to say, I'm even adding commentary to this, but people tried to say that Taylor and Kat, I know their names, did apologize. In my opinion, it was clear and could be clear to anybody that it was not an apology. It was clearly sarcastic. You know what I mean? They didn't really even say if it was like I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. Anyway, I think even Shaun said like they apologized, but of course he didn't take it as an apology. Of course it wasn't good enough. It's like because it wasn't an apology, you're being disingenuous. You know what I mean? Show the apology then that he didn't. Anyway, okay. Because Stark and the two disgraced journalists are unwilling to swallow their pride, it looks like the lawsuit against Shaun will be moving forward. So, in an act of unimaginable grace, I am prepared to make one final offer. If Hasan donates $25,000 to each of their GoFundMe's, I will tear up the Shaun the Black complaint. I have already spent several thousands writing. Furthermore, Hasan, any behind the scenes donations will be found during discovery. So pretending like you're helping them, BTS works now, but everything will be overturned to us in due time. So I kind of botched that, but I can reread it. He's essentially saying that any money that Hasan donates, it's not a trap. He's stating it here. I've seen people say that Ethan was like trying to trap Hasan. He's literally saying it right here. It's not a trap. How is it a trap if you're saying the intended, you know what I mean? The intended plan. But he says, furthermore, Hasan, any behind the scenes donations will be found during discovery. So pretending like you're helping them works now, but everything will be overturned to us in due time. So if Hasan tries to donate quietly, Legal Mindset does a way better job of explaining this than I do. But there's a reason why Hasan donating, so it basically alludes to an allocation of funds, right? Okay. I'm so bad at explaining this. But so it alludes to an allocation of funds, which essentially would be Hasan's funds, which I which in turn is involving Hasan, right? But Ethan is saying that if Hasan chooses to donate quietly, to let them know quietly that he supports them, but he can't publicly donate because it could hurt the case or even involve him. You know what I mean? So Ethan is saying it doesn't matter if you do that because it'll be found out during discovery. So just keep that in mind. Which ends him saying that Hasan would have to do that, that there would be any reason for him to do that quietly, is him essentially saying the plan. But you know, if you're not reading 10 times into it, then maybe not. So that is also probably subjective, as is a lot of this case, which is again why I hope it's a jury trial and not a judge trial, which I'm pretty sure it will be granted, because usually the plaintiff or whatever is requested, they usually grant. So I would assume that it will be a jury trial. Did you?
Free subscription. Much appreciated. So yeah, there's this. But the what I actually want to talk about today, besides the recap of what happened, is something Hasan said yesterday. Something Hasan said yesterday.
Okay. Not gonna work. It's not gonna work, Shaun. I'm sorry. I probably do the same thing. You probably gotta do this to me. That's fine. Not gonna say I'm not. Say that I can't handle it. He's talking too slow. Too many like pauses between words. It's not. Pauses are fine, but it's like when you're just. I think he's reading chat. I get it. So. Can't do it though.
I don't. Okay, this is the correct link. Okay. I'm pretty sure I had it open. Did I not have it open? Am I stupid? Well, don't answer that question. Here, I found it. Something Hasan said yesterday, when covering and reacting to this, is the important part, and that is why are no creators
I gotta go to the bathroom.
talking about this? Right. So let's see what
I do, but I'm fine. I thought it would be funny to make that joke. Again.
Oh, there's a forum Friday about mango. I'm curious about this. But yeah, let's see. What the forum Friday about mango in a separate on a separate tab. Let's look at.
This is an insane person, dude. He's crashing out and hasn't stopped at all. So it's like alarming that there are people who are fans of this sort of behavior. Speaking of people who lost their minds after having the slightest pushback on their Zionist way of viewing the world.
It's like yeah, it's like Dr. Disrespect, right? And this is something that I talked about consistently. And it's also kind of funny to see Hasan describe what I have coined. I coined it. Don't let anybody else tell you that Levy coined it, because that person's a liar. I coined it. I
don't know what they're talking about.
Coined called the thin purple line.
Or what he's talking about. Son of a gun. Please don't.
There are people who are
who
are fans of this sort of behavior.
Hey.
Speaking of people.
Dan Clancy, I talk shit. But I just want to let you know, dude, I really appreciate the fact that you didn't make me watch those ads again. Thank you.
Who lost their minds after having the slightest
I don't know if you have anything to do with that, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
pushback on their Zionist way of viewing the world.
It's like yeah, it's like Dr. Disrespect, right? And this is something that I talked about consistently. And it's also kind of funny to see Hasan describe what I have coined. I coined it. Don't let anybody else tell you that Levy coined it, because that person's a liar. I coined it. I've coined called the thin purple line, right? So let's see.
Ethan Klein is apparently literally using the Donald Trump strategy of trying to bleed their opponents dry for everything they have to silence them. This is so insane, says Onion Person, because apparently he is looking to sue Shaun the Black as well now. Like, it's so transparently
Also, I want to say, I saw this on the Full Moss subreddit, which I've made it, but it's Shaun the Black no spaces. People put Shaun space space Black. It's just Shaun the Black or Shaun. There aren't spaces there.
I live like a capitalist every single.
I'm just gonna say, I don't know if you've made it if the mods of, just because the mods of FOMO know who you are, and I didn't say the mods specifically, but if that's what it is, the mods of FOMO, because I think it's because I posted on the H3 subreddit, and so what happened was they probably tracked my account back to those posts. And then there's a post about Kesha that I tried to comment on, and they immediately banned me because of my association with the H3 subreddit. So not the snark, just the regular production sub. So
a mechanism of bullying people through
Something
frivolous
about the 5-month subscription.
litigation. And even if the litigation doesn't go anywhere, which it won't for the record, it doesn't matter because the point is not to actually win the point is not to actually win any sort of like damages. The point is to damage the opposition by putting them under a mountain of paperwork that's incredibly costly. I assume that's part of the reason why he hasn't tried something like this with me, and he's just going after all these other people who are much smaller content creators who don't have.
I hate the fact that they all keep pushing this narrative. It's like, they didn't go after Hasan. They didn't go after Hasan. First of all, Hasan, would you want them to? I literally have a note about this, but I don't need them. It's like, first of all, would you want there to be something that he could go after you for? Second of all, Ethan has stated multiple times that he asked you to react to it, so it, even if you had committed copyright infringement, it wouldn't have been right for him to sue you, and he wouldn't have, and and he wouldn't have won if he would have done that, even in just that case. But in this one case, you happen to be angry enough, which Ethan was too, reacting to your stuff, so it's like, even, hunky-dory, but you happen to be angry enough to react to it in full fair use, which you usually don't do. Mr. Chair was not involved at all when you reacted to the nuke. It was all you, my friend. You were very interested. You were there the whole time. You were, in fact, I think what it was, like hours for 9 minutes or something like that. Like you were, you were actually doing fair use. He wouldn't have won if he would have gone for that case. So it was people that actually committed copyright infringement.
Have the same financial freedom to.
Yeah, I think the financial aspect of like trying to bankrupt these creators is slightly secondary. I think it's still important for Ethan, but I think his biggest thing, which is why he started with suing 3 women, is that he just wants them to grovel. Right? He doesn't care about the copyright. He doesn't care about the or anything. He wants them to grovel. That's what he wants, or he wants to teach them a lesson. Which is why even when he was talking about adding me to the lawsuit, he was talking about.
I feel like that's just too much. Like he doesn't want them to grovel. It's not even just them specifically, and I don't know what he's asking for. He asked them to apologize, and to make it clear that this is not just an act of misogyny, which they didn't do, and he knew that they weren't gonna do.
Adding me to the lawsuit to get women to grovel to him even more. So he sued Frogan, Denims, and Kaceytron to get them to grovel to him, to get them to drop the lawsuit. And then he added me to then get other women to grovel to him. It's all about how he can control women. Because that's what he gets off to, because he's misogynistic. He's doing a misogyny.
Oh wow, that's very insightful. He is doing the misogyny, guys.
That's it. And if he can get them to if he can bankrupt them or whatever, then like it'll make him feel good, it'll make him happy. But like it will make Ethan better if he just has and extends this for the next 5 years, so that whenever he wants, he can just turn around and be like, okay. Which I think he will like be like, okay, I'm gonna drop the lawsuit, but only if you let me call on you at any time. And then if I call on you, you have to say, Ethan, you're the best and greatest, or whatever. Like that is something that I can very well see Ethan doing, right? Because that's all he cares about. He doesn't care about the lawsuit. He doesn't care about the copyright. All he cares about is how can I exert my control over women. That's it.
To be able to do so. So he basically said, oh, you guys said I was misogynistic. Well, guess what? I'm suing.
I think you're fine, but it's just a crazy thing to say with like hardly, he just keeps saying it, barely has anything to back it up. He's just stating what has happened and then saying Ethan has done it because he is misogynistic. And it just, it's silly to me.
A black man now, and then turned around and apparently released this. He said, I understand my announcement that I'm going to sue Shaun the Black was upsetting to some. Therefore, in an act of superhuman grace, I will make you this offer. If the Snark subreddit, Taylor Lorenz, and Cat 10 Barge all apologize for calling me a misogynist, I will consider dropping the lawsuit against Shaun. This offer expires on Sunday at 11:59.
They know Ethan's humor, yet they continuously take him so seriously.
PM. I thought this was all about copyright litigation. What do you mean? So he's just dangling litigation against people? Random people, because other people have hurt his feelings by correctly calling him a misogynist? How is this just legal extortion? This is like...
Imagine suing your neighbor or whatever, or threatening to sue. Like, I'm going to sue you, right? No, not even, I'm suing you tomorrow, right? If Donald Trump is still president, right? Donald Trump must step down for being president, and if he doesn't, I'm going to sue you. Like, what are we talking about here?
That is not the same thing at all. What? What was that analogy? What?
What are we talking about here? Does that even make any sense?
No. What are you talking about?
Whereas you're sitting there like, so I have to wait for Donald Trump to step down for being president, or I get sued for no reason? And you're like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. So, okay, let me. So maybe in that analogy, like, if Donald Trump is, fuck. I'm trying so hard for you, Shaun. I'm trying so hard. So, fuck. If Donald Trump.
So he basically said, oh, you guys said I was misogynistic. Well, guess what? I'm suing a...
That's too far back.
It's not even public anymore. And so now you've posted a private...
Okay. So he was... Okay, maybe if you said something, or... If something was done towards you, and somebody defamatory said that you were lying about that, and you were like, if you don't take that back and Donald Trump doesn't step down and apologize, like, I'm trying.
Private reaction to a public... you publish a public reaction to a private video, therefore you're being sued now. Is that what you're going to say? That sounds like Ethan Klein, if I'm being real. Even if he did what he asked, he'd say, I consider dropping it, but I decided not to. I mean, he already did. He said, your apology's not good enough for me. The other reminder, you are the right side of history. True black excellence. Thank you, Tyler. I won't be surprised if the right sponsor is paying for all of this. The timing adds up.
Alright, I think that does what it needed. I think that did what it needed to do. I think we're done with that. Imagine being on the jury. That'd be sick as fuck. I couldn't be on the jury. I would not be a unbiased jury member, and I would say that in a court of law. I'd be like, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I am far too biased to be here. You should excuse me immediately. Although I would love to stay. I cannot. Anyway. So, this is the newest post from Ethan. He says, okay. I was kidding about suing Shaun the Black. I thought it would be funny to add a guy after being called a misogynist, smiley face. We do a little trolling on vacation. The truth is, if I thought I had a good case, I would have added him from the start. He was very close to making the cut. Oh, he was very close to making the cut, though. Anyway, pretty funny how you all went from calling me misogynist to calling me racist. For the record, I did not even know that Shaun was black. So, it turns out that the lawsuit isn't racist, just misogynistic, frowny face. But if you ask me, I am the truest feminist. I hold people accountable regardless of gender. But go ahead and tell the judge about how it's not fair and I'm targeting 3 women. Let's see how that works out for you. All the best, Ethan Klein. 6/28/25, 7:03 p.m. PST. Here they are, having the time of their lives on vacay. Okay. I put this picture in the thumbnail, but I cropped out this part. So, I have multiple things that I could get into right now. I could make a poll for it, and then you guys could vote while I go to the restroom, because I do have to go to the restroom. I've tried not to, but I was surprised to say, Ethan, he was just trolling about Shaun. I don't know if you covered it. Sorry if you did. Oh, never mind. Hello. I was trying to save it. I was trying to act like I didn't know. I thought that would be funny. Excuse me. I wonder where the mods are. But it's not, I have been sick, so I don't blame them for not being here, but let's see. Oh, but oh wait, so he changed his name. So Insecure and Trevor, you are missed. We hold space. Also everybody else, but I'm very glad you're here, Strange Mammal. Strange Mammal. You're always fun to talk to. I don't know whether to cover. It's really just you, so I could just ask you. I don't know whether to cover their reactions. I don't know. You can tell me when I come back. But I have their reactions that I could cover. Kaceytron. I could keep going over the suits, which I have pulled up, or I could go over a lawyer that talked about it. I have a couple of his reactions and stuff. Those kind of go with Denims reactions. And then I have this, which a very sweet content creator, and I'm not going to react to a lot of their video, if any, but I wanted to link them for sure. A very sweet content creator made this video, and I think it's quite good. It's about all the good deeds that Ethan has done over his time on YouTube. And it's nice. I really think you guys should watch it and give him a like too. Maybe a sub, you know? So we could do that. We could do Ethan as a human. We could do legal mindset, or cover the girls' reactions. Cover the girls' reactions, legal mindset, and then Ethan would probably be the preferred order, but I don't think I'll be able to get into all of it, but I maybe. I will be right back. I tried to hurry. Okay. Anybody is still here? Well, whatever. I think it's funny when there's one person and the thing goes to 100% instantly, so we'll do. That's not where you do it, is it? No, it's right here. Fuck. Let's get Frogan. Okay. Also, by the way, just putting it out there, fuck. There is, I do have a Discord, so if anybody ever wants to debate me or anything, feel free to call in. Just let me know. Just let me know in chat. I'll say that again if anybody comes back. Mother frick. Okay. That distracted the hell out of me. I'm so sorry. Okay. It shouldn't, because I don't give a fuck. Really. I'm fine with strange mammal. They're cool as fuck. Son of a bitch. Okay. Well, I would debate anyone. If I could pick, I think Kaceytron would be the funniest. I think she's funny, but I also think that she is going through a lot right now. I have this whole segment to cover on her, but I don't know if it's too mean. Because I really do like. Listen, I don't know. We have the same humor at times. And so I think that, like, I could get along with. I would also debate, I don't know, anybody really. Besides maybe Bad Emma Panda. I almost did. Maybe George, again, I'm down, George, if you want to. He said he would. So if you want to still, we can. Just know that if it's about the Israel-Palestine conflict, I am uneducated. So, anyone if they want to. Any random chatter too if they want to. We can debate. I don't care. On whatever you want to. But I think if me and Kaceytron debated, it would be really funny to debate, like, use of weed during stream or use of just substances in general during stream. I think that'd be a funny thing to debate with her. Anyway. It's not a good time for her now. She's in a bad spot. I would also say though that, like, I would try to be as nice as possible for one. regardless of me being biased clearly against her. But I would also, like, fully promote, if we did that, I would fully promote her GoFundMe. Even though. And I would also say that, like, you know that this is what this is going to. This is going to lawyers, and this is going to possibly Ethan's lawyers, and possibly Ethan, you know. So it's like, but I don't know. Okay. What was my last option? Oh, Ethan is human. Hmm. You know who we're talking about. It's fine. Okay. Sorry that took so long. Look, I made this. It's a rainbow. It's gonna be a granny square. I've gotta make the points on it. I have another one that's a sun. I don't know what to do with them yet. I think I want to make, like, cardigan or something. Guys, there's a poll going on, is why I'm showing you this. Don't start and then leave. Know that there's a poll if you want to join. I'm not saying you have to vote, but I'm just saying that know that I'm not just stalling and showing you this for no reason. That's all I mean. Okay. It's fine. It's funny. Clearly, the person has spoken. The people have spoken. Okay. I love it when it does that. The 100% is so funny. Okay. That's good because it segues into the other one, so it's perfect, actually. Thank you for being smarter than me and being good at content so that I don't have to be. Everybody else. Memo. Okay. Let's start with Casey. We watched this. This is her first.
All the single party new crispy chicken tacos and burritos
So
might
many
make us a chicken
copyright
place.
claims at once.
Then again, tortilla chip coating
away.
does give taco place.
Go
Then again,
away.
our sauces are perfect.
Go away. Go away. I was so nice to you earlier. I take it back. I take it all back. Okay, so this is her.
These lawyers are going to be hundreds of thousands, even if you don't win. Nobody's doing this case pro bono. Hundreds of thousands? Have you watched the whole video and read about the lawsuit yet? No. Like.
Okay. We already watched it, and I'll repost it eventually. I just have some editing to do. I realize that it's public information, so, like, but I edit out their full names. I think that's right, because I don't know. I mean, other people will show them, I'm sure, but, like, I don't have to be one of those people. You know what I mean? There's no reason to. When I can edit it out, I might as well. I edit out my own, so when I accidentally dox myself, so fuck, I'll edit out theirs. Or fudge, I'll edit out theirs. Man, I really have not been watching that lately, have I? The whole cussing thing. Didn't I say I was gonna stop doing that at some point? Is this the correct timestamp? I think so.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure, like, what you guys are watching right now, like.
I feel like we're missing some important context yet again. I had the video where she was saying that. Oh my god. Okay. I think it's in here, actually.
Every fucking incel community that's been attacking me relentlessly for like the past 10 years is going to use it for YouTube clips because
Essentially, she's like, I don't know why he's going after me because I don't even remember. It's so crazy. She's like, have been high. I don't remember. I don't even think I reacted to that video. I don't even remember. I don't know why he would be suing me and like saying I reacted to it. I don't remember doing that. And she stone faces. It's so crazy. I had the clip, like already clipped. It got lost in the kerfuffle.
they literally make careers out of bullying women like me. And I'm just so fucking tired. I'm just so fucking tired of constantly being harassed by this shit, you know? Like, for the past 3 or 4 months, I've really just been like, I just want to focus on myself and I want to focus on my community. I want to focus on being funny. I want to be one of those people who's just a breath of fresh air,
Okay,
you know,
girl,
somebody
so
who people
sorry.
can watch own narrative and having people fucking spread lies about you and make it sound like, oh, she's a piece of shit. Yeah, she did go viral, but nothing happened with it. You know, like just like the level of just like fucking astroturfing.
The only time I've ever heard of Kaceytron and like it's never been good and like I don't know. I only wait, I have heard of
You know, and then like not only that,
I was like, oh wait, I have heard of her before and it was like in terms of like she was I mean, and whether you believe it or not, I don't know. I don't. I guess some people might. The whole as
but it's like I can't even have
the whole Asmongold and his mom thing. I guess she started that, or that's the claim, is that Kaceytron started that rumor. And if that's true, that's a horrible rumor. You would have no idea if that was the case. You don't know. You can't say that. You just can't. You weren't there. You can't say. It's just awful. Um, I don't. And I have. It's not even about Asmongold as a person. I have no opinion about Asmongold, but I think that is a horrible thing to do to anyone. So I had heard of her before. Also, apparently she's friends with Mike PA, the couch puncher. So hide your couches.
my fucking humor. You know, I can't even have my fucking humor. Like, one thing about people who have been through a lot of shit, the way you get through it is you have a sense of humor, right? You have a sense of humor. Like, whenever you've overcome a lot in your life, as I have, and nobody can fucking take that from me, I have overcame so fucking much. But I'm just so fucking tired. It's like, god damn, if I had been given just like one fucking leg up in life. Just one fucking leg up in life. You know, like people.
Disclaimer: I am not a. This is not a professional opinion. I do not know what I'm talking. If you were to put it in layman's terms, you could say that maybe Kaceytron was going through the 5 stages of grief. First, denial that the lawsuit is even happening. We've seen that reaction from her. She's like, if it even happens. We've seen her say that. Second would be anger, and some would say understandably angry when her dad answers the door, this and that. She's shown anger in different ways, lashing out on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. And then, denial. Oh, bargaining. When is denial? Anyway. Bargaining, denial. Denial's the first one, bargaining is the second one. I numbered them, but I lost track. Anyway, it's a very long paragraph. She bargained by trying to change the narrative, saying that she was so high she didn't remember, even watching the video. Essentially, just performing an act of spoliation of evidence. Blaming Asmongold and others for her own mistakes. Could also be considered bargaining because she is obfuscating blame in both aspects. Starting to sound serious, but this is not a serious take. Clearly, because I lost my place. And then, unfortunately, I think she is like nearing the end of being in a upset place, which would be the last phase, which is, well, acceptance is the last phase. The stage before that is, I think, the hardest stage, in my opinion. That would be depression. And so I hope that she doesn't have to go through that, but you never know. She actually could be, you know. She did say that something about
People like
necking herself, but so I don't know. I don't think that was serious. I don't know if it was or not. I hope it was. I hope that's not serious, and I hope you're doing okay. You know what I mean?
people like, yeah, Kaceytron should be way more famous than she is. She's actually funny, but she became a drug addict. That's not fucking true. I've always been funny. I should be more famous than I am, but I'm not because I'm not a fucking man. And that's just the fucking truth. And I know all of the incels will be like, oh, here she goes again, claiming sexism. Like, then what the fuck else is it? Because I'm pretty sure...
I thought it was an accurate observation to make, considering everything that we know that Casey has been through lately and just like her reaction to things. And she clearly, because she is, I think, a normal human reaction, so she clearly doesn't have any legal representation right now, which is probably unfortunate. I hope she gets that soon. She will need it.
Even a fucking room of people that hate me were laughing at my fucking jokes. And no matter how much they want to try to undersell me and claim that, she was being unintentionally funny. Oh, she's just being a troll, you know? Like, that's just them trying to undersell me because they can't accept that a woman is funny. It's like, I can't even fucking have that. I can't even fucking have that. But...
Girl, I think you're funny. I think you can be funny. Anyway. I think this... Excuse me. I think this lawsuit, while solid in law, is one of the scummiest moves that Ethan could do against his critics and political opponents. Everyone on Twitch breaks copyright. He's a bully. I don't necessarily agree, but I get what you're saying. Clearly it's a petty move. Clearly he is going after these people for different reasons other than them just breaking copyright, right? Like, he's going after them because these people have been harassing him for months, almost a year. Has it been over a year? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My life passing by. But anyway. They called CBS on his kids. Ethan has been through a lot. This is a petty lawsuit. This is personal. None of that, unfortunately, matters. I mean, unfortunately, on their side, matters legally. So, why he's doing it doesn't matter in this copyright lawsuit. They is a random person that was instigated by the perpetuation of a narrative that, yeah, the perpetuation of a narrative that was caused by a harassment campaign. So that is they. They is a random person that was instigated by. No, I don't think he said that. I think he said that she watched Bad Empanada say that he performed actions that required CPS to be called, which were not true. Bad Empanada said that his kids were crawling around in dog shit. That wasn't true. And Denims, even though I really don't have all that many negative things to say about her, this one, I don't think she should have watched that. And I do have negative things to say about her, but it's like, I don't think it matters at this point. Like, she's either got it or she's done it. She's screwed or she's not. I feel the same way about all of these people. They're screwed or they ain't, you know? Ethan's got him or he doesn't, like, and I think that he probably does, so. At most, it's like, why even be mad at him anymore? They're facing the consequences for their actions. But Denim, I don't think Ethan ever claimed that Denims called CPS or asked them to call CPS. Her chat said somebody should call CPS. She perpetuated a person that said that Ethan did something that would require possibly CPS being called. Bad Empanada, I believe, did say that. And she platformed him. So I believe that is the accusation. Ethan went nuclear because some idiot took things too far. Streamers didn't cause this. Well, while they didn't cause the initial, while they didn't cause the, not the initial, while they didn't cause the inherent personal actions that were caused to Ethan in terms of the skulls and the CPS call, they have perpetuated this whole campaign against him this entire time. And whether and Ethan has not been in the right this entire time either, but in most instances, in my opinion, he has been the victim. So but again, I do get I try to understand all perspectives when I can, but I think that initially the shock, I will say on how Ethan could have handled things better. I think that initially the shock of seeing Bad Empanada saying those things on stream and then seeing other streamers not immediately say, hey, this is not okay. You can't say these things without knowing that they're true, and really shouldn't be platforming this or projecting this in general. And nobody did that, so. But or those people had the opportunity to do that. Denims could have done that, and she didn't. And I think the initial shock of that made him react in a way that he probably shouldn't have. He initially took it very personally, which made it seem like it could have been perceived that she did do that. And I don't think that that was the intention. But yeah, I don't think he outright did say that. You could interpret it as that though. If you were biased on the other side, and I could see that. I'm biased on the opposite side, so I try not to be. Unfortunately, I do hold somewhat of a bias, regardless of me trying not to. Anyway. let's get into Frogan.
Tell them about it.
So I think that all in all, Frogan has handled this probably the best out of anybody, out of all three of the ladies involved. But she shouldn't have committed spoliation of evidence by deleting all her VODs. That was that was ignorant. That was a mistake.
About it.
So imagine this.
I'm imagining.
Imagine this.
Because I have one and you don't.
Okay. I'm out of the house and I get a DM.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "What? What happened?" Because I don't really go on the internet. I'm not really that terminally online anymore. And then I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, I'm fine." And they're like, "What's happening?" And they linked me to a tweet that says Ethan Klein is suing Frogan.
I'm imagining.
And it was from the parody account.
Yeah.
So then I was like, "Oh, it's fake." And then I sent them. I was like, "Oh, it's fake." They're like, "No, it's real." And then they sent me the video. And I'm like, "Oh."
So she's very shocked. I just wanted to clarify something that I said earlier. Although it is a petty act that Ethan is doing, in terms of like this copyright suit, I mean, it doesn't matter legally. And for one, I mean, I kind of get it. I don't think that it's necessarily bad that it's petty. People behave petty sometimes, and sometimes it's justified. You know? I don't know. I think that Ethan and the streamers have equally, maybe not equally, but they have both been horrible to each other, and I think this is just like the end. This is just like the final nail, and this is just like how things are gonna end, and we'll see in whose favor. But it's finally gonna be over at some point. There is an end in sight, you know. I think that's better.
It's real.
Yeah.
So I found out I was being sued by Ethan Klein at the same time everybody else found out.
Yeah.
Obviously, I really can't talk about it much. My lawyer team said to not talk about it, and I can practice self-control.
There you go. And so there you have it.
But, you know, I mean, people are being nice. Can I push my GoFundMe?
I don't care.
I mean, well, I will commend you for practicing self-control and being silent through all this. It is in your best interest. So, as you should, girl. As you should, queen. At the same time, I don't know if that was a lawyer's, if that was advice you got from a lawyer, because you clearly didn't get advice about handling of your VODs or handling of, I mean, public evidence. So
It's your fucking podcast. You know?
It's our podcast.
I don't give a shit.
It's
Go
our
ahead.
podcast.
Yeah, go check out the GoFundMe.
So unfortunately, because I'm being asked for $150,000 in damages and attorney's fees, I have a GoFundMe for my legal defense. So if you want to support,
excuse me, I got something.
Me, the link is in the description. And if you've already donated, I appreciate it more than words can describe, because honestly, it's tedious, it's inconvenient, it's annoying, and that's basically the whole point of this.
Listen, I can link them if you want. Feel free to support all these girls. It's only forward faster for either side. It only benefits. You know? It only benefits. It's a win-win. Feel free to donate to these ladies. Regardless of the side you're on. If you want to donate $5 and leave a mean comment, hey, Just don't be mean. You can be like, Ethan can have this, you know what I mean? I've seen people do that. I think that's fine. But don't be ruthless, please, God. But I say donate to the ladies. I say please donate to the ladies, because it's just going to benefit everybody. Don't be mean. I take it back. I feel like people are going to take that and be like, she said you could be mean. Don't be mean. Do what you want, but don't be mean. You know what I meant. Okay.
Yeah.
Entire lawsuit.
And I out of respect for Frogan's lawyers' wishes, I'm not going to say anything either. So check out my Substack, where I will say everything. Just kidding. Do you imagine if I had a Substack and I
Funny joke.
was just like
Honestly,
ripping into the dude?
You would eat.
At a Substack? No, I wouldn't. It would be me complaining a lot.
Are you a good writer?
No. I'm good at PR and like fixing people's mistakes, but watch this big response on it. Once again, we are not talking about that loser. We're just not talking about him. We said it in several episodes. We're not talking about him. I don't care about him, dude.
And we haven't talked about him in forever either.
Yeah, and
so
you know what? I'm gonna practice that self-control as well. Who?
Good. You shouldn't.
You know who?
Exactly.
This nobody. Like, come on, whatever.
But the spirits remain
Already talking about him too much.
high.
Spirits remain high. For those who've been donating to your GoFundMe, like, shout out to you. Thank you. It's even the hate ones, especially the hate ones.
You've seen that, right? Isn't it insane?
The ones who are donating to you, good. That's all I gotta say. Good. Yeah. So I mean, we're just not talking about him. We're just not. It's just not worth it. And of course, obviously, not our, but Frogan's.
I'm gonna say I really don't think it. I mean, the people that are hate donating, it's like you're giving them money. It's like you have to give them money in order to say the mean. I don't know. Is it funny? Yes. Did you also support them? Yes. And is that also kind of funny in its own way? Yeah. You know, does that make sense? It's all funny. It's all funny.
His legal team is saying don't talk about it, and that's that. So if you came here to hate watch us, stick around for a little while. Or actually, you know what? Get off, dude. If you came here to hate watch us, can you just leave?
All right.
You're tanking our views. Please get the fuck out of here.
It's crazy.
I don't think that's the case.
Crazy because, like, me personally, when I hate somebody, I do everything in my power to avoid them.
Yeah.
I mute them. I block.
Girl, this is the only response you've given. Okay, but that's about it, so we can't be done. I will leave upon their request. Not really hate watching, though. Or, so, begrudgingly watching? That's a better word for it. Make sure this is updated. Yes. Okay, so far, Frogan has raised 16% of her goal. That is $32,921. See how much Kaceytron has raised. I feel like I looked earlier. Okay, 41%. 41,214. So Frogan's is higher, but Kaceytron has raised about like 11K more than her at the time, or at this time. Okay. I think we watch this.
going to litigate this case on the internet. I'm going to litigate this case in a court of law. Okay? I am. What I will do, however, is show you guys how, first of all, bad this video is that he made. And second, how bad this document is.
Okay.
Oh my God. And after
I don't know if she's how much of she read some of it. I know she did read it, some of it, but it wasn't a lot. I don't think she read the whole thing. Could be wrong. Okay, so she has raised. Oh, so Kaceytron's in the lead. Good for Kaceytron. If I wanted any of them to win for some reason, it's her. I think it's because I feel bad for her. I don't know. A little bit. She seems to be going through it the most publicly. Okay. So.
Okay. So I can confirm to all of you. All right. I can
More like than we thought. Denims. Okay, so.
confirm to all of you that this money will be spent towards lawyers and lawyer fees to actively fight the lawsuit. Again, I wish I could share more and share the strategies and what might happen and what might not happen, but yes. So we will be fighting the lawsuit, and as soon as I have documentation that's filed, I can share it with all of you. But until then, I can't share any of that information because, you know, again, like I said, trying our best to, dude, and there's so many things I want to talk about that are really interesting, I guess, about the case, but I always listen to my lawyers. I always listen to the teacher. So just know that this will be fought. Just know that the steps have already been taken to start the fight. Okay?
Listen, I can be honest. I like this dress. I think it's cute.
And everything that I say, obviously, is stuff that I can share with you guys, is stuff that I can, according to my lawyers, I can share with you guys, and it's fine. But my lawyer can do shit, and at the very least, I can confirm to you guys this money will be going to a legal team that is going to help fight for me in this case. And I don't know, it's just really exciting. It's really exciting to...
I will say, this is dumb as fuck. Although I think her dress is cute. It's a cute pattern, it's got cute flowers. Really settle. And I'm not saying bitch as like you're a bitch. I'm saying like bitch, you should settle. Bitch, you should. I love your dress. You should settle. Don't take this to court. Maybe like the big plan that she's talking about that she has with her lawyers that she doesn't want to. She's like, we've got some interesting strategies coming up. Maybe the interesting strategy is settling, and then I'd be like, bitch. That's a good idea.
You know, have legal representation. I know that sounds silly, but yeah, I'm very, very excited. So yeah, really, really good, really, really fun, really exciting stuff happening soon. I had something else that I wanted to tell all of you, but I'm forgetting. Oh, I guess just like a shout out to all the people who, the Hasan Industrial Complex, who have really been putting in a lot of effort and time into...
Okay. So that's the girl's most recent reactions. She joked about it as gross. Should be enough. That's all he wants. I can't believe Casey is whining. Yeah. She is. She's going through all the stages of grief for sure. She is, and now she's bargaining. She's done the bargaining thing. Now I think she's just fully just getting in. She's just in a bad state of mind right now. So, one could say she was whining because she was. Yep. I feel like Denims isn't taking this shit seriously at all. I feel like she should. Like she should be taking this seriously. And I know her and her lawyer have big plans, but if those plans aren't to settle, then you might need to come up with a different plan. Okay, so in my research into Israel-Palestine, here's the thing, is that is a very complicated issue. I could give a half-assed take that might even be more informative than some of the shit that is out on YouTube right now, but I won't because that take is still not nearly educated enough to be talking about something so serious. So, the thing is that I am glad I did educate myself on that because now I understand how much merit statements like this really hold and what they mean. And I also still believe in the Palestine. I want to make this very clear. I very much so believe in the Palestinian people's right to. I mean, I believe in the Palestinian cause fully and wholeheartedly, and that will never change. Although I do believe that this clip holds impact and holds truth. So, it's muted.
Groups is the reason why your failure to acknowledge the trauma of both groups is the reason why you are a radical fucking propagandist liar. Both trauma needs to be acknowledged by both groups. There's two things that need to be true for this ever to be resolved peacefully.
You're right.
Palestinian self-determination and the Israelis' right to have secure borders.
Zionism
as long as you ignore that, there will always be war. Palestinians will always die, and you will continue to make money from it.
So, and I feel like Israeli borders isn't even necessarily, it's just like, I would say Israeli minimizing those is the real travesty. Anyway. Well,
What did you get for your birthday?
We'll get into this. This is more of like the palate cleanser, but I wanted to include that while we're getting into the heavy stuff. I wanted to put that one in because it's my lighter stuff I have included in that section. I did think it was important to go over just because seeing that clip, being more educated on the subject, knowing more about the situation, I agree to a certain to the fullest degree, I suppose. I mean, I understand like why he said borders, but that's not necessarily what it holds to me. That's not necessarily what holds importance to me, but I understand why he said Israeli borders. What holds important to me are Israeli lives. So, innocent lives. Period. And I think that he agrees. I think that Ethan thinks that. And I think that to an extent Hasan also thinks that, but when it gets, and his orbiters probably also believe that, but it's like it gets cloudy supporting certain injustices and supporting certain groups that only harm both sides. You know what I mean? And so it's for the rights of for just rights, and then you get so focused on the rights that you forget about like the actual lives that just like when the way you talk about it, it seems like they don't even matter. Like it's just like another number. I think that's the issue. I need to stop talking about this. Okay. Okay. So Denim set up here that fuck, I'm so sorry. She's not settling. God. Yeah, she's not gonna settle. So this is a lawyer who makes YouTube videos as his advice to the girls. If it wasn't muted. I've pulled a Kaceytron like 3 times now. If you don't get that reference, she posted a clip on Twitter that was muted recently.
And the best lawyer can only do so much. In fact, the best lawyer for them, and here's a tip, here's me helping out Denims. In fact, I'll go full screen for this. Denims, Frogy Yogi, Casey. Listen up, girls, ladies. Shaun the Black, too. You too, Shaun. I don't know what you identify as. Whatever you identify as, Shaun. Let's throw you in there with the ladies. Listen, the best lawyer that you guys can find, the best lawyer, listen up, the best lawyer you can find is the lawyer that's good at settlements. You need to find a lawyer that's a good negotiator, and you need to calm Ethan down and settle with him. If you settle with him, maybe you can save your ass and save yourself some embarrassment and get some of these things dropped. Maybe if you guys come out and settle with him, that's the easiest way. Settlement is always easy. Settle with them quick. It will save you so much time, money, and public embarrassment. Because otherwise, you're going to have law tubers like myself and all of the people on the internet covering this for the next years, and you are going to get smoked. It's not going to look good. Your underwear, and I mean that legally, is going to be dragged through the streets. This is going to be like that episode of Game of Thrones with the shame episode with Cersei. That's going to be what's going to happen legally. You don't want that. You don't want the dirty laundry out there. Settle. That's the real advice. Even the best lawyer.
I feel like that's obvious. Like, you really should just settle. You really should. You should raise the money enough to be able to bring it to the just like a decent attorney that will help you just settle the case in a reasonable way where you can keep most of your assets intact and some of your dignity. You know what I mean? That's a very good point. Oh, hello. Welcome. Good to see you here. Insecure. Mod's here. She said she is excited, like what the fuck. Yes. Yes, she did. She says she's excited to go to court. She's like, come on, girl. You shouldn't be. I hope she's excited to settle. I think I think that she's just excited to settle. That's the thing. Okay. I didn't know. Because you never know who could try to be a dick about. Yeah. So I was trying to, anyway. But yeah, maybe she's excited to settle. That's why she's excited. One can only hope. One can only hope. Okay. So there was a clip. I had the clip. But it also got lost. Oh, I wanted to go over this. I'm pretty sure that legal mindset brings us up to So the reason that I feel like he says this too. I feel like the reason that DMCA safe harbor doesn't apply is because their reactions were on Twitch, which has different policies than YouTube. So let me see if I can figure out like a good way to explain this. So like people are saying on the other side, this is like a good way for me to like work it out too. People are saying on the other side that Ethan, which it doesn't matter by the way, but that Ethan posting the Nuke constantly on Twitch was like a part of the trap and makes it warranted for them to be able to react to it. That's just not the case. They the video was originally posted and monetized on YouTube, so that's where it applies. And you're pulling it. The issue is you're maliciously pulling it from YouTube, uploading it through your own means, through your own channel on a different platform. So like you can't be. There is no safe harbor like for you at YouTube. You are maybe at Twitch. I don't know, but like it doesn't apply. Like yeah. I don't think that they have the same TOS and stuff and the same procedures regarding like which ones they imply or they enforce more. I think that Twitch for one is probably biased based on individuals. But so for instance, the threshold requirements that most service providers will need to satisfy in order to qualify for the safe harbors are adopting and implementing a policy of terminating the accounts or subscriptions of repeat infringers, informing subscribers and account holders that the repeat infringer policy, informing subscribers and account holders of repeat infringer policy, accommodating and not interfering with standard technical measures used by copyright owners to identify and protect their own works, designating agents to receive takedown notices from copyright owners, and recording those designated agents with the U.S. Copyright Office. So I believe that the copyright complaint, the filing is, I mean, it is. So it's Ethan filed through the Library of Congress for the video that is currently on YouTube. The video, his own video, he reposted to Twitch. That doesn't make it a video that originates on Twitch, because it's not. He reposted his own content to Twitch on a loop. That's not where the video originates from. The video originates from YouTube. It is a YouTube video that he made that his own copyright that he has the IP on. And the fact that they ripped it maliciously from his channel, pulled it to another platform, and then streamed it, that's the main problem. And unfortunately, I don't believe that Safe Harbor can help them because of the fact that it was ripped from another platform and taken to another. So I think that he can explain it better, though. Legal Mindset. You should go check him out.
actually legally sufficient. So lazy.
So loud. Oh, I hate to be cringe like that. So I'm not gonna be fully gonna say like the stream if you want to, please. If you really don't want to, I don't blame you, don't. But if you want, if like a little part of you wants to, like listen to it, maybe, please. I've been trying to pay it forward. If I'm interacting with content, I like and subscribe, especially if I'm watching and reacting to their content. So it's kind of like, not that I think that everybody should do that with my content. It's kind of like a pay it forward kind of thing. Maybe it'll come back to me. That's the only time I'm ever going to say anything like that because I think it's so cringe. I'm so sorry. Moving on.
Is subjective. It's a wide open standard. So what is a lazy video? Some people have called like reacting, like putting on a documentary and like reacting to it, talking to it, and putting up points and say, oh, that's kind of lazy. What's lazy is subjective. So I don't like that. But they added the other part to it. They added purposefully siphon views and revenue away from the original. So when the judges are looking at this, they're saying, oh, we're not ruling on just whether you can react because that's kind of gray area. It's react plus. Do that. And remember, he's even made it better for reaction streamers. So reaction streamers, he said entire copyrighted works. So in this case, the judges could rule in favor of Ethan and you could still view a part of the video and it would be okay as long as you don't review the entire video. So the precedent could be limited to only people that watch all of the content and explicitly siphon views. So there's two ways to limit that down, to make that more narrow. And I think those are reasonable ways, and I think they're legally enforceable, and I think those would be an objective standard. It has to be the entire video, and it has to be purposefully siphoning views. Those are very objective standards. Entire video, purposely siphon views. I can agree with that. I don't have a problem with that legal standard. I think that's fine. That's fine.
I think like that's so what he's saying is, and I agree with this, because people are worried that it's going to set a negative precedent. I mean, though it has the possibility to set a precedent and conditions on certain aspects of fair use, I think that's better if that's narrowed down. I think it makes it easier to know where the rules are and where the rules lie and when you're crossing a line. That way, you're not entirely setting yourself up for failure and vulnerability if you know entirely the steps to take to protect yourself. Which I really do appreciate, like trying to get into streaming and everything like that. I would like there to be like a legal precedent or something to be able to refer to know when or when not my content is fair use, and if I'm infringing on anybody's work, I would really like to avoid doing so. So
real quick here, I'll get some of the larger ones. I'll go in the course of large, size, and small. Ona HX says, her saying my content will cause her even bigger issues defending this, right? Yes. Since it's claiming as her own work. That along with her asking for financial support in the forms of subs and primes, exactly, it shows deflected revenue, which is literally a damage. She's literally saying, I damaged him. She's spelling it out. You could not be more stupid and make the case more easy for Ethan if you tried. It really is a layup. Lauren S. 9532 says, big thanks for always bringing God content. My pleasure, Lauren. Appreciate you. Appreciate for you for always being a great and very sweet follower. Nisantic for 5 says, regarding motivation for lawsuits, does the law eventually push back against lawfare and vexatious litigation? Slap seems to consider motives. Yes. And by the way, if you watch the Fast Facts that comes out after, Hasan Piker made a really
it's not vexatious litigation.
Stupid comment about vexatious litigants. And I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. I'll just give you a little teaser, a little bit of teaser for the Fast Facts, right? Hasan doesn't know what vexatious means. Vexatious means there's no merit. None of these lawsuits have no merit. They're not meritless. Meritless means they're like a ridiculous made-up cause of action. No, even Hasan himself admits that the copyright law is in the favor of Ethan. And slap does not apply because this is copyright, not defamation. Copyright does not consider slap. And I may have misspoke on this in the past because people were confusing defamation and copyright, but let me make it very clear. Slap does not apply here because this is copyright. Right?
Okay, so that makes sense, but I'm glad that was clarified because I wouldn't have thought about that if it wasn't.
Right? So good point there. Thomas IGL 7298 says, if Ethan were to win at least one of his cases, would the impact streamers, YouTubers as a whole, or only US creators? It would impact everybody, but who's on a major platform, because most of them are American platforms. However, I think US streamers most affected. Yeah, for sure. KS says, could all three defendants use the same lawyer? They could if they wanted to. Rose Gold Cinema says, Andrew, after you mentioned the legal writing entertainment, I looked up Onion Amicus Brief. I have done.
So I think that we can watch this one now. That should have been flipped.
You have claims from Hasan that indeed the system and also the lawyers covering it, like myself, are not being objective. So I want to get into some of his arguments here today, both of those, and we, of course, have clips to back that up. So let's get into the first one here, where he is talking about the lawsuits more at large in the system. Let's hear what Hasan has to say.
All this while snark subreddits and similar harassment just caused another creator to commit suicide. Yeah, I heard about that. The Fox Sanctuary woman. It's so sad.
I don't know if, and I don't know what the implication here is, whether he's trying to imply that something might happen, but let's continue here.
So if you're unaware with what Hasan is referring to, the Fox Sanctuary woman, as he put it. Oh man, I forget her name. But I was going to do a piece just on her, but unfortunately, there really isn't a lot to go off of because a lot of the evidence was deleted, but she was harassed by a snark that was about her and driven to take her own life. It was very, very sad. And a horrible, horrible loss. Her husband seems clearly very distraught by the whole thing, and I believe he blames the snark that was about her, and just the online harassment in general. So that is what Hasan and that chatter were referring to. In terms of connecting it to Ethan and then just like going off of it, I am with legal mindset. I don't know what that was about or what he was trying to insinuate there, but that was just a little background if you weren't aware of what they were talking about.
There's a lot of dead air.
The legal complaints are in California for Denims and Frogan. Wait, what do you mean?
So this is another point which I think is very interesting is, a lot of people can comment on stuff, but I'm not sure whether he doesn't understand what a legal complaint is or he doesn't understand how lawsuits work. I'm not really sure what he doesn't understand, but it's always very interesting when people decide to comment deeply on stuff that they really have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, call it for what it is. He's abusing the legal system the way stalkers do. No, that's precisely what he's doing. But in this circumstance, because the legal system is fucking busted, because the legal system is fundamentally broken,
Unfortunately, it is just easier to pursue litigation when you have more money. It's always easier for the more money to fund lawyers. That's just, yeah. It's unfortunate. but that's very common. And it's happened to Ethan as well, like with Ryan Kavanaugh, and I mean, so I don't think that makes Ethan oh man, what did Logan Paul call himself? Was a petty billionaire? I've heard people call Ethan a petty billionaire, like I think comparing to what Logan Paul had said. But Logan Paul there's a lawsuit where Logan Paul, there's a tweet released, or no, not a tweet, I'm sorry, a message released where Logan Paul calls himself a petty billionaire. I think in terms of suing CoffeeZilla, like he knows that he has no standing, but he's a petty billionaire, so he can get away with it, most likely, is the insinuation of that tweet. While I think that is fair to say about Logan Paul, especially because he admits it, I don't think that's fair to say about Ethan.
If you have a lot of money, you can do this kind of thing. When you're depraved and you're manic and you're an insane person and you don't care about like wasting unlimited funds, especially considering that he does technically have virtually unlimited funds, you can be a vexatious litigant.
Let's stop there. So pseudo-intellectuals like Hasan like to use big words that they don't understand. The word vexatious litigant does not just mean someone who files a lot of lawsuits. That is, it's not just that. A vexatious litigant is someone who files lawsuits with no merit, meaning they're going to get immediately dismissed, meaning these are lawsuits with no legal basis. And what you never hear from Hasan is you never hear him talking anything at all about the legal basis. Now, if he wants to argue that the system is broken, that's fine. And in fact, even myself and other law tubers have admitted that yes, parties with a lot of money tend to do better in court. That is very much true. And we've admitted that and talked about that. And I've been a critic of that when it comes to certain cases like with Walt Disney and the Walt Disney Corporation. That can be a problem. But throwing out words like vexatious litigant kind of goes against the rub here, because you have to admit that it has merit if you can come up with no legal argument against the case. Not an emotional argument, not a claim of bias, not any other claim. You have to tell me, Hasan Piker.
Yes, it really doesn't matter that Ethan is being petty, that he is going forth in this action because he has been harassed by these people and he is for petty reasons. It does not matter legally. It holds no credence to the copyright lawsuit. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter his intentions. Denims was saying, I mean, judges really don't like to see, I forget exactly the quote. She said something to the extent of, judges really don't like to see people being, I mean, essentially what they're accusing Ethan of here, which is outrageously like petty and just specifically targeting somebody and going through different means to target that person. It doesn't matter. Like it does not matter. I think she was referring to Shaun the Black actually, but it no. Doesn't matter.
Piker, why legally they will win. Your orbiters will win and Ethan Klein will lose. Otherwise, it is a meritorious claim. That's a big word you can use now, meritorious, Hasan. So these are meritorious complaints, which are going to get past a motion to dismiss, which is, just to explain for you, for Hasan and for everybody out there, that's the first step. Now, that does not mean Ethan Klein will ultimately prevail. Ethan Klein may very well lose this case. Now, we've said, hey, doesn't look good for Hasan's orbiters. It's looking kind of bad for Hasan's orbiters. I think, in all fairness, the odds are on Ethan here, but they're never 100%. There's always a chance that your orbiters can prevail, whether individually in individual cases or separately. Maybe one of them prevails and the others don't, or maybe all of them prevail. It's possible. It's not 0% chance. Ethan is not 100% going to win, but the odds are in his favor. And that's all we've been saying kind of at large, which is very interesting here. But we'll let him talk a little bit more.
And it's like having a mentally ill stalker who has an unlimited amount of money and power. And not only does he have an unlimited amount of money and power, he also makes content off of this. So it turns into more money for him down the line. That's it. That's what it is. And given the way that our legal system works, given the way that our court system works, given the way that copyright works, there's really nothing you can do about it other than...
So hold on. Hasan himself has just admitted that his orbiters are going to lose. So he's actually admitting, he's saying that's the way copyright works. So he's conceding that legally they're screwed, which means, once again, Hasan...
Is he also saying that it shouldn't work like that? Because I think that's, if that is the case. I mean, of course he probably does feel like that. He chair reacts, but it's like, no, that is going to destroy everything for everyone if you're allowed to unmitigatedly react to things at your own discretion, other people's works. That ruins everything, including React streamers.
Hasan is saying it's a meritorious claim. It's not vexatious, Hasan. We're going to teach you big words, so you can use them in the right way. I want you to use them right, Hasan. Let's continue here.
Hope that it goes away eventually. Just like cyber stalkers, we do not have an adequate measure against cyber stalking, and just like stalking in general, we don't have...
Let's stop right there, and we're going to stop this clip right there. So there are cyber stalking laws. In fact, many states have cyber stalking laws. Now, you can argue they're not robust enough, but to say they don't exist or they're non-existent, that's not true. They are indeed existent. Now, they may not be as intense as Hasan wants them to be, but if you go too far with cyber stalking statutes, they can silence free speech, and they would be a violation of free speech protections. So if you went too far, you're going to push against that. So that's the balance here, Hasan. Now, I think Hasan seemed like he leans on the side of silencing free speech, right? And on the side of making cyber stalking really high, but that's a delicate balance. That's a very delicate balance. So that goes to the systemic arguments that Hasan made. But Hasan didn't stop there. And he made these comments, and Nicholas DeOrio, who actually had an amazing stream, I popped into that one, he had some comments about Hasan's thoughts about LawTube, because he's talking about the LawTubers and our coverage. And LawTubers, the general LawTube sphere, people like myself, Ian Runkle, Uncivil Law, a lot of us have commented on this, and pretty much all of us have said, yeah, the claims look like they have a prima facie basis. They look like they're going to get past the motion to dismiss. They're going to get the discovery, right? That's as far as we can say, okay, looks pretty good on that. But none of us have said, hey, Ethan is 100% going to win. It's a shoe. And none of us have come out and said we're pro Ethan Klein. As I've said before, I could care less about Ethan Klein, and I could care less about the orbiters. I care about the law. But let's hear what Ethan has. Let's hear what Hasan has to say about the lawsuit and...
I try to remain unbiased. I am biased, though, admittedly.
Our coverage.
It's legal YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet. No, I think there's some legal YouTubers who have covered it, but they're like pro Ethan. Yeah.
No, they're just telling you the fucking facts of the case. What are you saying? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. They're compromised, dude. They're pro Ethan.
To cover this would mean...
Dude, the lawyers are all compromised.
On Israel-Palestine, which they are not. It's legal YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet.
So this is...
Also, I'm not a legal YouTuber. I don't know if that was insinuated, but I never meant to. I just wanted to clarify that.
It's great. I let Nick's comments just go to it. We are just commenting on the facts. We're commenting on the law, right? If you want to say the law is pro Ethan, all that says that means his side has more legal basis. And I would love to have more legal commentary and have somebody to, spar with and intellectually debate with the law on the other side. If people want to say these legal elements are more pro...
that sounds fun. Hasan should do that. I would watch that.
Denims, Frogan, and now we have Shaun the Black coming in, Kaceytron. If anyone wants to bring up legal points, I'll be happy to analyze those and look at those, and I'll be happy to give them a fair, objective consideration. However, emotional arguments, claims of bias, claims that we don't know enough about Israel and Palestine, that has nothing to do with this lawsuit. This lawsuit has nothing to do with any political element. It has to do with copyright. And we're going to keep it educational and objective on this channel. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you on the
Okay. It's honestly time. Wait, sorry. You can call me Eric if you still want. Okay. Hi, Eric. Sorry. What browser app is that? It looks handy. But this is Windows, like specialized Windows. It keeps all my tabbies saved. It's very nice. I really don't know. Somebody asked why my mic was so bad. It's honestly about time this group of streamers are getting called out legally. It actually looks like, sorry, different comment. No, you're not. You're fine. It cuts out really bad. I don't know why. You're right. You're right. You're totally right. You're not being mean. You're being honest. Sorry, let me reread the other comments. And also, if I need to repeat anything, like, as long as I can remember what I said, then just let me know and I'll try my best to recall. But it cuts out really bad. I don't know why. Okay. But I agree. I think that, I mean, just in general, I think it's time to just address copyright and read the React sphere, like, more so. Like, it was addressed on the other side, which is great. Free speech was defended, fair use was defended, and now we also, to defend fair use, need to get some ground rules set, if that makes sense. Like, I personally like, again, to know what is appropriate and what is not appropriate, where the line is. I think that only helps React streamers, and that is only going to be a good thing, knowing what we can do and what we can't do. It actually looks like the harassment is affected her more so real life harassment than online stuff. Not that online stuff wasn't bad, it's just less relevant in her case. Are we talking about Kaceytron, or who are we talking about? Hasan would lose his mind watching this guy. I'm pretty sure that he's the guy that Hasan was referring to, that when he said lawtubers seem to be on Ethan's side, I'm pretty sure he was talking about, like, probably legal mindset, and then there was another guy I saw, multiple legal YouTubers, so I assume legal mindset was one of them that he was referring to. Okay, now we're back up to speed. And then Eric said, I think it's just a headset mic thing. Headset mics are only so good. Fair. Fair and true. I bet it's annoying for someone to steal your content like that. Yeah. Yes, I guarantee it. And I would like to be aware of whether or not I'm doing so, and I feel like all React streamers should want to be aware of that. I think that only helps. That only helps us. But I was making sure I didn't miss anything up top. Oh, I do have this. Let's see if this has changed. Okay, so we've done lawyer reacts-ish. I know. I know. I haven't been on for like a week. My stomach has hurt very badly. Honestly, it's still not the best, but it's not nearly as bad. And I knew I had to get on, otherwise it was, yeah. It's like, this is what I usually cover. And I can't cover it. It was annoying, but it's just going to increase creativity by pushing content creators to do more than just react to others' content too. I agree. I think it's only going to provide more content, more videos. It's going to enhance the experience for the viewer. It's going to inherently, eventually, make the content creator in question feel more accomplished and like they've done more. And it's just better. It's overall just going to be, I think, better for YouTube. People are scared, and if you're not committing copyright infringement, you have no reason to be. But I understand just generally wondering if it's going to affect the ecosystem. I think it will only do so for the better, but yeah, I'm sorry I've been gone so long. During my sick times, I've been trying to catch up on things, so I made this. And I made another thing, and a couple other things. But this isn't finished yet. It's going to be a granny square. It's a rainbow. I made a sun. I shut off my rainbow twice now and I lost a viewer because of it, but it's fine, it's worth it. Okay. It's a Roy G. Biv rainbow too. It's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. I included indigo. Alright, let's do Ethan as a human. So we watched this. I was laughing at some of the titles for the other ones. I wasn't laughing at this one. This is a very serious one. But I'm glad we already watched it because I want this to be lighter of a segment.
There you go.
I got a picture of me and my dad. Recently, my dad had passed away with cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I got a picture of me and him.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
That is
my.
just-
Okay,
so how recently did your dad pass away?
Sounds like pretty recent.
November.
Wow,
Oh,
I'm so
my.
sorry to hear that.
It happens.
It happens. Wow, what do you say to something like that? I don't know.
Can I do something? I don't know if you know me. I'm on YouTube, kind of a famous guy, kind of a big deal. If you Google Ethan Klein or H3H3, you'll find me. I want to buy you a birthday present.
Oh, that's so sweet of you,
Oh,
Ethan.
you don't have to.
No, I want to buy you something special. It's such a special birthday for you, and I just feel like I really want to do something special for you. Well, what's your favorite store to shop at?
American Eagle, Aeropostale.
You know what? You email me. I'm gonna buy you $1,000 gift card to American Eagle.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I want you to have a good birthday. I really do want you to have a good birthday.
He will do that.
That is so sweet.
Happy birthday.
And I want you
Happy birthday.
and I want you to go and have a really great time shopping and buying whatever you want. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
This next clip takes us back to the start of COVID lockdown, with unemployment at a record high.
I want to give a shout out. I'm not going to watch a lot of this at all. Probably not much more even than this. But I'm I need to do that like as soon as I get off so I don't forget. But I'm gonna leave them and legal mindset in the description of this VOD so that you guys can check them out and you can check out this video. I can link this exact video if you want. I probably will. But it's very sweet. You should watch the whole thing. It's nice. It humanizes Ethan quite a bit. And I think that's really, with like everything that's happened lately, I think that it's good to remember that he has done some very kind things and he is a person, you know. So
Ethan stepped up.
Which it doesn't mean that, I'm not saying just because he's done kind things means that he is, you know, the bastion of kindness, the kindest person to ever exist. I'm just saying that, you know, not even necessarily he might, like, that says that he's a good person. I think that he's a good person, but I'm not trying to prove to you that he is. I just think that it's good to remember that, you know, he's a person. He's a person that cares about other people, that, you know, is empathetic.
To help those who had lost their jobs.
I do want to announce something
I just feel like he's been so demonized.
going on our Twitter called Help Hila and Ethan Lazy Philanthropy. Go ahead, G. Diacilo. How do you say it?
Dan, how do you say it?
Philanthropy, right?
Philanthropy.
Now you got me. Now
See, it's not that
weird.
easy to say. Here's what we're doing, and I'm very excited to announce. We've been doing this now for like 9 days, I think. We decided we are giving away $100,000 cash of our own money. No strings attached, no sponsors. That's just $100,000 from my bank account to yours. On Twitter, we are making a tweet every day for 100 days, giving away $1,000 every day for 100 days to 2 winners, 500 apiece. All you have to do is retweet and comment with your PayPal info. The retweet is annoying, I know, but all these bots require some kind of action to draw a winner from. And that's it. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to comment and tag 25 friends. And basically, we just want to get cash to people who need it now. You know, the unemployment rate is like, it's crazy. It's over 20% now. It's staggering. It's scary.
I think it's going to continue to get worse, too.
So anyway, we wanted to help in whatever way we could. And so the best way we could think is just to send out cash to my dogs on Twitter. Now, Brendan Green, the creator of PUBG, hit me up and was like, yo, I want to give 50 grand. I was like, awesome. So we have 150 grand now. So that means we get 3 winners a day. Papa John donated 100,000 extra dollars. What can I can't contain it. So now we're up to $250,000 in the help fund, and that's 5 winners. Am I doing? Yeah, 5 winners every day. That's $500 a piece. That's $2,500 every day, you guys. Exciting stuff. So make sure to follow me, or you don't have to follow me. Listen, I'm just saying, watch my Twitter, okay, at 12 o'clock. That's when these raffles.
Okay, so again, shout out to Alex the Fiction. I'll be leaving their name and the link to this video in the description. Let's see.
During Ethan's lupus saga, he opened up about feeling guilty for being in a privileged position to afford his medical care while so many others struggled in the US healthcare system. In response, he took action and personally helped pay off medical bills for several people in need. Although the clip I'm about to show you says he's only going to pay one person's medical bills, I think I remember on a See You Next Tuesday that he paid at least more than one person's medical bills.
Yeah. And every time I talk about this, I'm reminded about how fortunate I am to be able to do all these things. So if you have medical bills that are crushing you or causing you problems, send it to Dan. So I'm gonna pay one of them off.
Dan is gonna personally pay for them.
No, I'm gonna pay for one of them.
I thought you were like, okay, volunteering. Give it to Dan.
Yeah. Well, that happened on the stream where someone was like, you know, my on the See You Next Tuesday.
Right.
Did they ever reach out?
You know what? No.
Huh. That's a shame.
I mean, I actually had several other people reach out because of that. So,
we'll find a good candidate and I'll just pay their shit off.
Okay.
That's very generous.
Just pay it for it a little bit, you know. I am very fortunate to be able to go see Dr. Lupus.
Okay. Well. That's a good one too.
Here's a fundraiser that Ethan and Trisha organized during their time on Friendmies, putting their platform to good use, despite the chaos the show was
We love a Trisha cameo.
known for.
Because of all of the Vlog Squad and David stuff and all the essay, we thought it would be appropriate to start a fundraising campaign for RAIN, which is the leading charity organization.
It's very important that they like even looked into how reputable it was and everything. RAIN, from my understanding, is a reputable some that unfortunately even take advantage of people in circumstances out of their control and victims. So yeah, this is a very good charity and thing that they're doing. They did not have to do. They were just talking about a situation, and so
for helping victims of essay and abuse and all such things.
I think it's great.
I think it's fantastic.
We already met our goal, so there's no pressure to donate.
That's what so here's what we did a whole thing. Me and Trisha each donated 10,000, except Trisha, I was like, you bitch. She gave 10,100.
I don't know why that's showing, because
I remember that.
You said you did that too. It said for fees. I wasn't trying to upstage you, although hindsight I should have done like more, but it said for fees, so like 10,000 went to the charity and then like fees were $100.
That's funny that she's like, I should have done that.
You said you did that but didn't show up, or what?
To be honest, my accountant donated it, so I didn't even.
So she's probably like, no.
But she probably was like, no fees.
Well, that's why it says that, but hey, I'm happy to donate a little more.
But anyway, we each put 10,000 each, and then we set the goal of 20,000 because, like Trisha said,
And then this is the crew one. Yeah.
This.
So next, I just want to do a little laundry list of all the nice things Ethan has done for his employees. I'm sure I'm missing a ton of examples, but these are the ones I was able to remember. He fully reimbursed Lena for her boxing training, even though that should have been covered by iDubbbz.
After speaking like with the Creator Clash team and with Lena's opponent and everything, it was sort of like a situation where she could be in it and not promote, or Ethan offered to reimburse her.
So yes, I'll be making sure that Lena's not out of pocket at all for this event. It's my I'm taking care.
I feel like people like for some reason made that out to be like Ethan was like trying to like manipulate the whole situation and like telling Lena not to compete. I feel like it was an unfortunate situation for Ian and Anissa to put Lena in, knowing that she was wanting to be in the event. She had worked really hard to be in the event, and then they put her in the middle. I mean, they made a content cop about her boss that inherently does put her in the middle. That's on them, that's not on Ethan. Ethan only helped.
Care of my people. I don't want you guys to have to fucking take a loss because of their incompetently run stupid ass event.
Which is very kind of you, and also is shitty. We don't, we're not happy about taking money from you either. But yeah.
Don't worry.
They should have paid Lena back, but
worry about it.
He also gave money to both AB and Lena so they could visit their families and didn't have to drive all the way back home.
And I told the story when me and Lena were driving to Michigan.
What happened?
We were driving to Michigan during break because we missed our flight or something. I forget what it was. Oh, we didn't get a flight in time to my brother-in-law's wedding. And we were ready to drive. And you like kept calling me on the highway and I didn't realize, and you're like, dude, don't drive. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'm used to driving. I like it. And you're like, no, dude, please. Is it a money thing? I'm like, no, it's not a money thing. And you're like, I just sent you money for a ticket. Please buy a plane ticket. Bought me and Lena tickets to go home when I first started.
Nice.
Never told anyone.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for saying that. Touching. This is my favorite part of the presentation.
That's really sweet.
Life has changed.
What's happened?
Since we got a puppy.
Yeah, you get the joke.
Hey, Shreds. Yeah. Ow. This is Shredder.
This is Shredder.
God, this breaks my heart.
Prince Shredder.
This is Prince Shredder, the new H3 mascot. He is our soul.
I had a soul dog as well. Much like Shredder to Ethan and Gila. My puppy lived to be 22, so I'm very for so long, but I got him when I was a kid, and so we grew up together. And I miss him every day, so oh my goodness, seeing Shredder really does. He passed away like not long before Shredder did, and so I just always associate for whatever reason, like not really like it's. Whenever I think of Shredder passing, I then think of him passing away because it happened kind of close together, and I remember hearing about it at the same time, so I just think about it.
Soul, our lifeline, our life, our love, and everything that we live and work for. Look at this. He's like a perfect little living teddy bear. And I actually want to say thank you to my wife, my beautiful, supportive, one-of-a-kind, love of my life, who, even throughout all these tough times, as always, she's always got my back, you know? It's like ride or die. So I'm a fat slob and you're like a good-looking, nice
well,
girl.
I think also it's because we're not really touchy on
God, so sweet.
camera, but it's because I find it weird. It's like when you're hanging out with friends and then there's this weird couple who has to be like,
It's fun.
schmoopy.
I personally find it obnoxious, and I'll tell you guys.
Like, we are...
Schmoopy!
We do have nicknames.
Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I really do want you guys to watch the whole video. So, yeah, this was a comment on that video of Alex the Fictions. And I assume this is real. I take this person at face value. I mean, again, grain of salt if you know, but true story. Around the time of Shredder's health problems, I was on the H3 subreddit replying in a post about how I was happy for Ethan helping Shredder, but that it also kind of stung considering I recently paid for my dog's problems, and that being a disabled combat veteran, I was struggling so bad trying to keep my dog in this world. Olivia reached out to me and said that Ethan wanted to pay those bills for me. I could send them a copy of the bills, and that I could send them a copy of the bills, so I sent them. They sent me double the amount, what I paid in bills. Like I said, I'm a disabled veteran. I've also got a special needs child, and I work at a center for autism. I'm like so broke it isn't funny, and extremely poor most days. But because of what Ethan did for me, I was able to take that money and roll it over for my dog Buster and kept him in the world for another 3 years. He died just this past Christmas, but he made it to an old age, and that is mostly entirely thanks to Ethan's generosity. I email the podcast a thank you every year. This past year, I sent pics of my new cats that I got after Buster passed. I never get a response. They're busy, I'm sure, but I still thank them. Hopefully one day I will cross paths with Ethan or somebody from H3. because I really want to buy them a beer and hug them for what they did for me and my son. Giving us extra years with our dog was just priceless to me, and I'm getting teared up writing this reply and thinking about it. So I thought that was very sweet. I clearly have a soft spot for puppies as well. So I think that's a very good note to end things on. But I leave open to discussion if anything, and if anybody has anything else to say, the floor is yours. So I could do for, let's see, another 15 to 20 minutes, or I could get off right now. So it really doesn't matter. We can make it an even 3 hours, or not. If there's something else that you think I should cover, I could do that, or we could just have an open discussion the rest of the time, or not. Or I could read the court docs. But I can always come back to those. And I'm sure that there will be more responses that I can react to, and yeah, more clips. There's always going to be more clips. I wonder if everybody has gone to bed. I don't blame them. It's about bedtime. Okay, doke. Well, again, please check out Legal Mindset on YouTube.
Done that one before. It's great. It's great. BBPC says, it took me a while, but in the images, Denims actually has a sign that says Denim Street as well. Oof, what? How silly. Who knows? But when you cite your own cases, you know this is going to be interesting. As a genre, reaction videos vary widely in terms of purpose, structure, and extent to which they potentially rely on copyrighted material. Reaction videos like the Klein video that intersperse short segments of another's work with criticism and commentary constitute fair use. I agree with this. Short segments are okay. In
terms of everything that they've lined out, like in terms of fair use, I have agreed with it.
In contrast, reaction videos are more akin to a group viewing session, and they do not. I generally would agree. However, I think some videos which add value are transformative. So
yeah,
if you are commenting on a 30-minute video and you add 30 minutes of commentary, I think that is.
Anyway, I will react to this. I mean, I think this would be a good thing to include. I can do it for a little bit more this year, but I think this would be a good thing to include in the, when I'm reading the lawsuits, we can refer back to Legal Mindset when we have questions, because, you know, I am not an attorney. So if there's something that I'm wondering about, I can just refer to this video, watch a little bit of this, and then I can have him read some of the lawsuit, and then I can find a different part of the lawsuit to read, and then if there's something that I have a question on, go to him reading that part. So I'll probably find the appropriate timestamps and work that all out. Shout out Legal Mindset. He also said that everybody was welcome to react to his content, provided they don't include his outro and intro, and I completely understand that. That's very fair. I hope the case doesn't go on forever. I can't see it going on for more than like 2 or 3 years, but I'm not sure. I'm looking at myself up here looking really dumb. Man, she was full of energy back then, huh? When was this? Anyway. But cheers. Oh. As you can see on my time off, I did a lot. At least I was kind of doing stuff in my time off. I was crocheting and doing research, watching videos and scrolling through Reddit. Tabs, 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 tabbies, 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 and adding to my tabbies. I love tabs. Look how pretty they are. They're all different colors. And it's nice because Ethan's tabbies, these ones, these are Ethan's tabbies, and they match the whole thing, which is the whole thing is this color. It's all about the lawsuit. And so it's fun. It makes my brain happy. And all the girls are pretty colors. I did that for the girls. I don't care. Girls deserve pretty tabbies. I don't care if I disagree with those girls' politics. They're girls. They deserve pretty tabs. That's how I feel about it. Especially Kaceytron, because she's going through it. Poor Kaceytron. She's a grown woman. She said that there was one stream. This is interesting, actually. I don't think it means anything. I'm not gonna say, because I feel like some people would see that and like make a whole thing out of it, but I'll get to that. But she said that she said, first of all, she started the stream out with saying that she was pregnant, and then she was like, oh, he just didn't. And then she started saying things that I don't think I could say because of YouTube TOS. But and then and then he walked in, and then she started being like, guys, I'm probably not. Stop saying that. Like, stop saying that. I don't know where you got that from. Okay, so I think that she was probably just trolling. Even after everything, she still does some trolling, you know what I mean? Even though she's freaking out, you know. But they were also like, I guess, like eloping, even though they weren't getting legally married, they were getting rings and considering themselves husband and wife. So like, good for you, yay. But I don't know. I don't really care about that. But good, yay. I feel like people would take that to be like, oh, she's just trying to make people feel bad for her. Like, she can't afford this. She's pregnant, this and that. And it's like, maybe if she kept with it, but I think that she maybe, if she was going for that, she chickened out real fast. So she was like, guys, probably not. It's probably fine. Oh. I almost concluded that clip, but it truly doesn't matter. So I didn't. Instead, I told you about it. Still doesn't matter, though. Sorry that you had to go through that. You want to check GoFundMe's? It's the same. Let's check. Man, Frogan's looks so much smaller, but it's not that much smaller. It's only 10. I mean, 10 or 11K is like, you know, it's more money than I have, but right now in my bank account. But still, it's like, grand scheme of things, like, not that big of a difference. It's not like, it's not going to make it look like 16%. It's because her goal is so high, 200K. But she says in the description that it includes, whoa, get out of here, OBS. What in the fuck? Why did it do that? That is frustrating as hell. We good? Holy shit. Okay, I guess we're fine. Okay. So that's cool, I guess. I didn't even touch anything. What the fuck, OBS? I think that thing needs updated. It's my fault. It's probably my fault. I'm saying what the fuck OBS, but it's what the fuck me. It's what the fucking ours. It's my fault. Okay. I don't take care of my things. I need to update OBS. I still haven't. Even though it's literally kept me from streaming before because it's so fucked up right now. Anyway. Excuse me. It's so messed up right now. Okay. So it's because her goal is so high. So she says down here that there are other things that she includes. Let's just read the whole description. She says, after nearly 2 years of targeted harassment campaign against me, Ethan Klein has now escalated into suing me for reacting to his video on Hasan and myself. And his video entitled Hasan Piker, or Content Nuke Hasan Piker. This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint, what you would expect, right? And then any counterclaims that I may have against him. Okay, sure. Are you planning on countersuing? That'd be impressive. I don't know how you could afford a whole another lawsuit, but okay. And then she said, and any other bills and personal expenses from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation. It's like, okay. She's saying lost wages, but it's like, I think like everybody else hasn't, nobody else has stopped streaming. I mean, I think that you could keep, like she's still doing her podcast, and I think that's good to remain edited. That's probably very smart. But it's like there's other ways that you could, you know, maybe you could start your own channel and like try to monetize that. And I don't know, like just you can keep yourself edited if you feel safer that way, but to make sure that you're not saying anything that could harm your case anymore than, yeah, anymore. Have I read all these descriptions? This is funny. See, girl, I think you're funny. Kaceytron's just is. Ethan Klein is suing me for reacting to his video on Hasan content Nuke Hasan Piker. Excuse me. This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint. Kaceytron. Quick and to the point, girl. I like it. I think it's funny that it's just like so short for whatever reason. Maybe that one wasn't intentionally funny. Okay. Oh, no. Denims is the same. They must have talked. They are, I feel like, very close. They had a podcast together, didn't they? Denims and Kaceytron. And Anissa was in it, too. God, what was that podcast called? You don't always have to update OBS. I skip updates often. I've skipped this one so many times. I'm worried that it's catching up with me because it's fucked up so many times. But maybe that's not even the problem, and then there's other issues that I have to deal with that I don't know how to deal with. I can update something. There's a lot of things I can't do. I can press a button very well. I can press. I think it would be fun to do more gaming stuff, yeah, and like to start doing. I think it would be fun to like open up like a multiple. Like I don't even care to like start debating people or like as within reason. Like I think it needs to be moderated, but I think it'd be fun to start like having other people because I think like what Turkey Tom and like a couple other streamers. I know a lot of people that have done that, but invite people in to talk and game or whatever, and debate things. I think that'd be neat. Not even necessarily debate things or just talk about things, like even if you agree, you know. I think that'd be cool. Okay. I need to get another cord for my controller. Or I need to get a desk, keyboard, and a mouse. So, one's a little harder than the other. Getting a cord's a little easier. It's just USB Type-C, so it's super easy to get that. I've got 5 minutes. I'm hanging on for 5, well, it'll be 6 minutes, but not quite. 5 minutes, 15 seconds. And then we will be at 3 hours, so. So I could turn this into like a water bottle, but like a water bottle holder, excuse me. But I also have a Cricut, so I could like customize the water bottles. I don't know. There's multiple things that I could do with this granny square holder. I could do a book cover. I could do all kinds of shit. All kinds of stuff. I think a cardigan would be pretty, but I don't know if I have enough base yarn for that. And also, I would like something that I could sell, like in the Etsy shop, something small that I could make multiples of. I'm going to get a desk eventually. Right now, I'm probably going to get a cord. Just because it's easier. I don't have any room for a desk. I can't show you the rest of the room, but there's no room for a desk in here. Not yet. I gotta move some shit around. I could do a hat. That would be cool. Nice little bucket hat, maybe. Granny square bucket hat. Because I have another one. It would be, whatever it is, would be sky themed. It would be light sky themed. I thought about doing like star or like moon and planets for like a nighttime theme, like an opposite theme of whatever it is, and like releasing it together. Because I also could release this pattern because I kind of just made this. I would just have to write down like what I did if I could remember it all, but I just kind of like freehanded it. I saw a picture and then was like, I can make that, and then I made it. So I'm assuming what I did was different than whatever. Also, I know it is different because I added like a lot more colors than the one I saw. And the one I saw had like 3 colors in it, and I added the full rainbow. So, but I also have a sun granny square. So I would like to do like, you know, a light happy one and then do like a cool like galaxy planet one with like the moon granny squares and like the planet granny squares. So it'd be cute as a hat. Both of them would be. Oh god, 2 minutes. We can do it. I would just play Fortnite, like right now, even though I would lose, but that's why I wouldn't mind too, because I know it wouldn't last very long. Good night. I might just get off now. I will see you next time. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get on tomorrow. I'm gonna try to be on as much as I can. Where I was gone for so long. Good night. Hope to see you again soon. Hopefully I'm on soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Oh. Right, we're so close. I'm just gonna write it. I'm just gonna write it out. What else have I made? I made little axolotls. I just need to make the print, cut the faces out on my Cricut, and I made little bookmarks, but they really could be used as bookmarks or like bag charms or like pretty much anything that you could hang something from. I don't recommend it because it's illegal in some states, but you could like hang it on your car mirror or something maybe. But it's like, this one's a little dino. It's a little dinosaur and like a little T-Rex. And it's just like one long cord and then the other end is like a little, you could just do a shape. I think I'm going to do like a star or something. So it'd be cute if I did like a little comment. That might be sad though. I kind of want to do that now. But yeah. I think most people would probably use it as a bookmark. And then I want to make more clay things to add to the shop. I'd really like to make more of like flower earrings. I've been looking at these succulent earrings that I want to make. We're at 3 minutes. But I think I'm going to get off. I think the next time we'll see if there's any updates, any more reacts. From these streamers that are being sued. And anything for a 2-year-old. Actually, all of my plushies are toddler safe because oftentimes when people and they're very, very, very cute, and they're maybe even a little cuter than mine just because they're like little plastic eyes that you expect on a plushie. They're like more conventional. So, but the problem is that they're a choking hazard for smaller kids. So I originally designed them for my nieces, and but with my Cricut, I cut out the individual faces, and then I heat press them onto the plushies, and you can't get them off at all. They're not a choking hazard. Everything's attached. So all of my small plushies especially should be safe. Really all of my plushies, because I haven't used safety eyes for anything but like personal stuff, so. But they're called safety eyes, but they're not very safe for small toddlers. But we will be watching more Legal Mindset, and hope, and maybe there will be more updates on the reactions, and we'll be reading the lawsuits maybe. So I think I'm gonna go off here now. Okay, cool. I'll be posting the Etsy here in probably, hopefully within the next couple weeks, this week or the next, because I have to get all the product together and take all the portfolio pictures. I've taken a lot of the pictures for the clay items, but not a lot for the crochet items. So it's a process, and I have to set up all the listings. It's a pain, but I've been working on it, so it's almost done. Bye. Thank you, because I would have kept going. I see you guys next time. Bye.